at least early levels. The tree grab, Tiny has ridiculous damage.
I don't think he needs tree grab. He's gonna outlast him no matter what. I'm pretty sure.
So in terms of lanes, OG's looks like I love their draft right now. I think it's really nice. The one question mark to me is the supports. It looked like a 5-position Enchantress.
Yep.
A Shaker. So the supports seem a little odd, but as far as the core matchups in the lanes, I'm liking OG.
He did for fun. I think it's actually for the best that Chen's gave up on this level 1 penitence thing, because there's definitely some times where I'd watch games where they'd really delay their level 2 and be like, did I really want that 18% damage amp with my crappy right click? Very, very valuable all the time. So.
We'll see Miracle going mid, already throwing Sunstrikes around to get some info and scouting for his team. We'll be up against the Tiny, a tough matchup. It's still not like unplayable. I imagine Invoker will get some CS, could see some early Alacrity to help him out with the last hits, or just Forward Spirits usage. Tiny is 0 armor hero, so you get some Forward Spirits with a Cold Snap. You can bully him a bit.
It's true. It's got 78 base damage on average here, and Invoker is just barely hitting 60, and he's got a Stout Shield, or a Quelling, so he's going to get pretty much every last hit, more or less. And
anytime you've got a last hit disadvantage, you solve it. You get the Ring of Aquila.
You know what else is really tough about Liquid's lineup is that they just don't have a lot of easy Sunstrike setups, you know?
Ooh, that's a good point.
It's like, what, Nick Stun?
Yeah.
It's about it. A Rupture, land a Sunstrike, but people will always move, 100 units of Rupture damage to dodge a potential Sunstrike.
Seb doing what Harass he can with the Fissure. They want these bounty runes.
Oh wow, he went for Blood Right.
I think trying to take this level 1 fight at the bounty runes, doing a good amount of damage at least.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it's a huge level 1 nuke. 120 pure is a massive amount of damage. So, but now he's not going to have Blood Right, or he's not going to have Blood Rage. He's not going to have Thirst.
And yeah, level 1, you may just get harassed. Anytime you go for last hits, Pugna's going to be right-clicking you, maybe throwing a blast or two.
Ooh, I did not mean to ping. Whoops. Anyways, they block the large camp. Sorry to our Russian and Chinese.
I thought that was one of the teams. You're good. Did pings actually show up to other casters?
I know, like, a long time ago. It's just one of those things where you're like, it used to be a problem, therefore you just assume it's the same for years.
If you ping items, it does. I know that. Like, you ping health bars or items and have the chat message.
But we'll try to hold back. So it looks like Mind Control is actually just using Blood Rage as a way to get last hits, which is kind of smart because it gets a nuker like Pugna. Every time you do Blood Rage yourself, he's just going to nuke you instantly and go for some bullying. So, but right off the bat, 4 last hits for Mind Control, so he'll be happy.
Yep. How are other lanes looking? It will be the Invoker versus Tiny mid matchup. Topson already using the tree grab and throw to help secure some early last hits, but Invoker doing just fine, at least for the first wave so far. And bottom lane is the Monkey King versus 2 melee heroes. He should be a pretty happy Monkey King. Enchantress down here with the heals. Maybe, Enchantress just the new Warlock is what No-Tail's saying.
I mean, it makes sense, right? It's 400 HP per Nature's Attendance with 1 skill point. The only problem is it costs you 170 mana, but if you're getting levels, you're just sitting here and right-clicking. And now he's got a Hellbear Smasher, so now he's got attack speed aura, he's got a little clap that he can do. They're just super out harassing. Matoma's he's out of tangos.
0 regen, yeah. I just clicked him and, well, he needs Courier, but your mid's taking Courier, so we'll see if it gets to the bottom lane anytime soon. But top may also want some. Looks like Mind Control should be fine.
This is like one of those terrible moments for a hero like Ursa. He tried to get a little greedy with his item build.
He's dead?
Wow.
In some ways, I feel like he needed to die there because, you're out of regen, you can't lane. At some point, you just need to go back and heal up.
Watch out, the level 1 Ursa.
Yep. He's got Tango, he's got a salve now, and this is why dying is good for him because he just gets a kill immediately on Ana in return.
It picks up 2 from 1 creep dying, and nice snag there. Ana realizing he should have left a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And now he's got more regen, everything's going to be okay for him. Almost boots now. That was a big turnaround, that's for sure.
Yep. A big wave under tower. He still managed to get most of the XP for it, so nice little bit of play there coming out from Matu despite the initial death. Gets his boots out of that, and all across the board. Does feel like OG still have a pretty good laning stage advantage with these matchups they've got going. Unable to constantly spam Miracle, and it's not just Miracle looking at Ring of Aquila. We'll see it on Topson as well. Almost
GH getting a little low here. He's got a nuke. Yeah, he's probably dead here. Yep. Great dodge there by Ana. expecting the stun.
R2 wants to get some return kills. Not going to be so fortunate. Anna takes a full overpower with a recast as well, and having the double overpower there.
Yeah. And the Orb of Venom is really making a big difference here. I mean, that was what cost him at the start, is that he only had one Tango because he started Stout and Orb. So he's out of regen right away, but I mean, it ultimately got him his second kill, and now his third. So Matoma Man making a huge play here, and now he's getting another one.
Nicely done. He's just crushing this lane, and I think a lot of people kind of forget how good this item is on melee heroes, because it's been getting nerfed damage-wise, slow-wise on ranged heroes, but melee, it's still the same as ever. And I think Ice Rug's saying, hey guys, I want to see this on some of these melee lane dominators.
Yeah, it's amazing on Ursa, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's so hard to like find a way to get away with it because you are short on regen, but hey, that one death, he comes back to lane with extra tangos and salves, and suddenly he's good to go.
Yep, and so he's going similar skill build as what we've seen earlier today, maxing out Earthshock. And not that much personal survivability yet either, just a Stout Shield basically, but it's like every lane has been a little scary here.
Mid lane Topson goes for the bottle. He's got a haste rune himself and has been pretty even with the Invoker in terms of overall CS. Slight advantage going the way of the Tiny.
We'll dive here on top here. Got a nuke for Seb, but he'll be...
Try to get this sated last hit. Seb may pay for this though. Chasing his mind control has got some decent thirst. Seb, blood rage up, nice decrep, stopping the right clicks from coming in. Jerix is there as well. They may be able to outplay this one, and they do. Seb and Jerix teaming up perfectly, baiting mind control and giving him a tip, rightfully so.
That was really well done by Seb too. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but when he walked in the blood ray, I thought he was going to get silenced and everything. But I feel like that's just a great way to bait. Like walk into a danger moment like that, and it just produces you know, more confidence from your opponents. And they get both bounty runes as a result, so that's going to give them a set of 3. So really good 5-minute rune timing.
That to me is like the true bait. You pretend you're weak, you're vulnerable, you bring them in, and then you turn it around.
That was very good. Tiny sitting around the mid. It's a haste here. He's got a tree grab in 3 seconds. He's going to need this for the damage output. He's also got a fissure. Miracle sitting with Sunstrike, not the things he's going to want here. And it should be a kill.
Yep, has the tree throw, and we'll find it.
No-Tail just completely foregoing untouchable this game, actually. Makes sense, because he's against the Ursa. Enchant does scale well. Anna dying again in the safe lane.
Yeah, this is suddenly becoming a rough lane for him. I mean, the support leaves, and even with No-Tail there, unless he's bringing some useful creeps to the lane, it's going to be pretty tough for him. But prioritizing this mid-tier 1, the 5-minute catapult rotation, you bring in 3 mid, you get a kill, you try and take this tier 1 using this double catapult thanks to the Enchantress.
See if No-Tail can get this kill here. Breaks the salve with the ward.
Yeah.
He's going to know there's a ward.
Tiny has a tree throw. He didn't actually, I think, realize how low Kuro is. He'll find him, though. Gets the blind toss as the tower gets denied, however. That's a pretty big tower denied this early on, because that's a big chunk of gold.
It's such an early tower, though. 6 minutes with these kinds of heroes that are going to be roaming, like Earthshaker Fissures and Enchantress popping up. I feel like this is really bad for an Invoker who normally needs to sit in the lane and get a little bit of farm and gold first.
And often if you can't sit in your lane, you go to back to your jungle to farm, but with your tower down, they can very easily access and invade that jungle.
But definitely another missed kill. I got that one. No-Tail running for his life here. If I was in Anna's position, I would just be super regretting what happened. Like, they were dominating the lane, and all of a sudden he makes a little mistake with the aggressive TP from Matoma Man. It's like the whole lane just completely changed.
He's 1 and 4. It's crazy. It's one of those scenarios where he was better off not killing the Ursa there. Force him to bring those tangos and salves down on the courier, because you're just going to win the lane while he's low health. But it's one of those things you can't really know it in the moment, and this is a situation I think he's just not used to, because normally there's a much bigger priority on him having a better early game and a better start. This time around, the focus has been much more around this mid lane.
Oh man, this is the problem with Ursa. Like, you just can't go back to the lane. He just controls it so hard. Like, they can gank it, but oh man, his speed is just so fast. He's not even gonna get four prep hits here. It's so hard for them to even have an opportunity to initiate. They would need like Pugna to rotate or something. But if he leaves, then they can't dominate the Bloodseeker, so he's just gonna have to deal with this.
Forced defensive Boundless Strike, never a position you really want to be in.
Kidding. He is low on regen, at least on Ursa's side, so he's sitting at not full HP, so they got that going for them, but
Not too. Nope, top lane Seb. Nice use of the first rupture. Well, that's a, you know, that is, I guess, a Sunstrike setup, rupture. They don't want to move. That will often secure some kills mid lane, though. Thompson going to find a setup with the Fissure, follows it up with an Avatos combo, but they have not got the detection, and instead, it's probably bottom, where I've made you miss another kill, Kevin.
Yeah, it was definitely not my fault.
I'll take the blame for that one.
From my eyes, this is a 1-2-1 Monkey King, I'm pretty sure. I don't know where those other 3 deaths came from. We'll just pretend that's a bug or something.
And is appreciative of our camera work. You know, this is the biased Australian observing. We don't want to show him dying. Anna's a great player, doesn't beat.
Never. Are they going on the Bloodseeker kill top, though?
They really want to kill Matu. They know how much gold he could give up, but they instead swing mid. Just don't know quite where he was.
Oh, he cuts down the exact tree. The Sunstrike is well on him. Oh, he's going to get outplayed here. That was a really hard dive, though. I mean, they used the stun early on to open things up, but very rapidly, mind control. Another rupture top, actually. They're thinking about going in. They've got the penitence here, but great reflect from the Nyx Assassin. A stun on the Earthshake, and this is going to be a double kill.
Liquid suddenly turning it on, flipping a switch, and just crushing through. They do lose Invoker mid, but even that doesn't feel like too big of a deal for them right now, considering how much of a good game Matu specifically is having. From giving up first blood, he is 5-1-2, #1 net worth. He is just dominating.
Good for him. Still pretty far away from a Blink Dagger, though. So at least for now, it's still going to be pretty straightforward laning stuff. And my real curious is, what I'm curious about is, can OG take the advantage that they have on some of their other heroes and turn that into something better than what Matoma Man can?
OG's really trying to prioritize some of these towers to give them some gold. Unfortunately, I mean, the mid one got denied is really kind of a problem for them in some ways. We need to make sure they actually get this last hit up top if they fully commit for this, but...
They're just not good at pushing yet, though. They've got tree grab, but the cooldown is so long. It's not coming out very fast.
Last time they had a double catapult. This time there's 0, and GH level 6.
They don't have detection.
Yep. Sunstrike setup. Perfect kill. Mind
that was really
cool.
cool.
The last hit.
The Blood Rage on the Nyx, super cool way to do that. Love seeing combos with BS like that.
Come OG with more. Kill the Nyx before he can Carapace, and they may look to dive this tower now as well. Mind control a bit vulnerable up here. Does have a TP scroll out if he can find a way to juke and jive.
I think he might die. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's for sure. Kuro's arriving with a lot of creeps here. Possible send back. No, he's going to go down. Kuro did not have level 6 yet. No Hand of God, and he's going to be an extra freebie. OG suddenly get 3 kills, which in some ways feel like Liquid kind of handed to them.
Yeah, that was definitely a 1-by-1 kind of situation. It didn't feel very good for me. For them to walk in like that. And Matoma Man is just finishing Blink now. So maybe if he has that and that fight's a little bit more straightforward, they can take the engagement, but they had to be there as the initial Bloodseeker initiation goes on, but they just, they weren't ready for that one. I don't even know if Invoker had a TP in that case. But, I mean, he's Sunstriking, but outside of that, we're not seeing that much impact from Invoker just yet.
Yeah, I almost feel like he's telling his team, like, you guys, if you fight, that's on you. I want to just be farming and getting my levels and just throwing a Sunstrike.
He does buy Blink. It's revealed at least for OG, so it's not all bad. Back Thompson's not even close to where Ursa's at, but he's about halfway to his Blink, so once he matches that, I imagine we're going to see a lot of Thompson kills this game, especially on like Chen, the guy that's going to have to worry about getting solo killed.
Yeah, he's looking pretty damn squishy right now. Edge getting down some deep wards. See what he can find on the Nyx Assassin. He's perhaps part of the recovery plan for Miracle. You just go around, find some setups for Sunstrikes, and try and feed Miracle these kills. As of right now, waiting on that Vendetta to come back up.
They want to snag Anna. There's the Rupture.
Got the Rupture, yep.
That was really fast.
Any TP? No TP?
Do they have a calling? They do. There's the stun.
Oh, he guesses wrong. He's still hiding. Oh, he's not going to keep looking. You have to guess which tree he was on, and unfortunately for him, it was like a maybe 1 in 3 chance or so.
They are trying to get a grab, but it's pretty tough. GH takes a lot of damage, gets stunned. He's gonna pounce down. He doesn't have his ulti just yet, but no stun either. Oh, Seb's gonna, he turns.
What a play from Seb. He stays alive, gets a kill. He's still not gonna find a way out. Here comes the Wukong command. Anna wants to try and take this fight for his team, and with Thompson there to follow it up, it's going pretty damn good for him. Mind Control's just gonna be surrounded by 3 heroes here, and No real escape for him, I can only imagine. Kuro's maybe looking to come back in and set something up. Bloodright going to buy mind control some time. They're going low here. Matu's showing up with a blink. He bursts down one. Anna's dead. And now Bloodseeker gets the movement speed. That will keep him alive.
Oh, it's really bad for Thompson now. There's almost no way he gets out, but maybe he can get a kill. Gets him low, but that'll be it.
Very back and forth brawl of a game. Constant fighting. Kills all over the place.
I mean, ignoring the fact that Matoma Man has basically just owned the bot lane for the whole game, this feels like the first time he's like really shown up and had a huge impact. And it was a really good time because it looked like it was going to be more heroes going down.
Looking like he's going to have a very fast initial basher, which seems to be the item pickup with the Mithril Hammer. Could be a BKB, but...
he had Maelstrom queued up for a second, but yeah.
Okay.
Must have misclicked, I bet. There's no way you go Maelstrom, surely.
Getting a basher this early sounds... And against a hero like Pugna, who you just don't want to give him a chance to decrep you or decrep himself and start life draining. You just want to be able to get that insta burst. Even a Tiny, you want to stun him with that basher, something he can't avalanche you, he can't toss you away.
Notel trying to bait this one. Gets the stun off. It's a fissure block to interrupt him. He's still got his ultimate if he needs it. Yeah, Jarek's playing it safe there. He didn't want to get too close. I don't blame him too much, but either way, they use Ursa ulti. He has to TP back to Fountain. Waste some time there. Not terrible.
And the OG have actually kind of the ones, pressing the map. They're pushing this top lane pretty deep out. Haven't got any control over their own jungle down bottom, but this top side of the map is around Roshan, which is where Ursa wants to be. Particularly with the Chen, you've got very clear ways to take Roche, but OG kind of just denying it with the map control they've got.
Nuclear creep wave top, about half HP here. We'll see if they shift over. Yeah, it looks like they are going to try to make a play here. Tomba Man on his way, no ulti for 10 seconds, so a little scary for them to go in.
Will they spot GH? They don't get that insta-stun. The Fissure, though, does come out now with a Wukong's command. They want to try and fight this one, instantly bursting Matu, and you get big streak of his. Seb now could be in some trouble because of this rupture, but he's just going to use the decrypt, maxed out decrypt. Echo Slam from Jerix doesn't really connect all too well. He does end up getting stunned underneath the tower with the Sunstrike. No escape for him. Just one casualty per side as Topson's gone looking for more.
It's a good trade, though. I mean, it's still Ursa for his support.
Yep. Topson has the toss, which will finish off Kuro, and GH now could be in quite a bit of trouble with the Carapace being used. Dude,
Enchant is a really good skill right now. This is actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
55% slow, 6 out of 10 seconds as a support, and if he gets gone on, he just presses Natures. So it's like nobody wants to touch him, but it's fine. He's just constantly slowing enemies. Although Anna in trouble. Great decrep, buys them a little time, still goes down, though. Maybe this will be it for Notel here.
That's where the slightly less defensive build can be costly, as Miracle gets a nice little solo kill down bottom.
Okay. Must have been jungling, I'm guessing. Yeah, he does know there's a ward. It's sitting on the shrine right now.
Yeah, I think he was just like pushing up bottom lane and then found the Shaker thanks to the ward, which should reveal to OG what's going on a bit there. Hobson has a Shadow Blade, not going for the Blink Dagger so much. Oh. I guess he's seeing his Monkey King having a rough time and like, wait a second, I actually need to, scale better.
Yeah.
And often when you go Blink, you see the Blink into Shadow Blade, then the Echo Saber, and your transition to carry much slower.
And maybe this is the right way to do. He's going to go for a Miracle kill. This guy's pretty high HP though. Full point booster, Treads, he's got the Aquila. Curl would be a much easier snag actually. Let's go. Oh, that's not going to be a kill.
All those heals and the one charges coming out, and it's not just Tiny paying the price, it's Notel as well, who swooped in on the Enchantress to give away an extra +1 to Liquid, who are in a great position to just take this tier 2 down bottom.
Yeah, I think he thought it would be a little bit easier to kill the Chen there, but he didn't do the Avatos combo. There's a creep in the way, so that's a most farmed hero on your team just kind of throwing his life away. Trying to get a support kill, doesn't get it. I mean, at least Anna's still getting last hits top, but Monkey King is playing from behind, are not very strong, and they lost a tier 2 from this as well. So
Anna's net worth isn't completely in the trenches, but he's died 9 times in just 17 minutes. He's a death less than every 2 minutes.
That's a lot.
Definitely adding up.
I mean, Pugna's doing well at least, I guess. 4 staff, Tranquil Boots, he's queuing up a Dagon. Dagon 5, very hopeful. Could be useful.
I'm personally a bit surprised by this 4-star pickup.
Why? I mean, isn't it just amazing versus Ursa?
Something
that's gone on.
I guess against the Rupture, it's like a bad item in a sense. It's kind of how I look at it. But yeah, I mean, the kind of thing that's nice against Ursa.
I think it's just all right, I guess. I don't know. They only have 1 stun. It's Rupture. I mean, if you get Cold Snap, there's just a lot of people that you can save, I feel like. And they have better teamfight longevity. Like, if Ursa goes in, he wants to kill somebody right there. If Nyx goes in, they're bursting somebody. If you provide some survivability around Rupture and stuff like that, then they should be able to win the fight if it goes a little bit longer.
It's one of those items that's like, anytime I see him, like, oh, you know, getting a force stuff can't be bad, but it's like against Rupture, I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, Ursa, fantastic against him. And gives him now not just the decrep as a save, but a secondary way to save people.
Both teams kind of expecting where each other are, but not quite finding the opportunities just yet. Mind Control going to slow down the mid wave. They're scared to go on him. He's very close to BKB, by the way. Check in Roche with a Sunstrike.
Oh, yeah. I mean, OG just know they need to control this area of the map because otherwise Ursa will take Roche very easily.
They know where they are. They see the Tiny finally, so.
Yep. OG do have some good vision up as a result of taking over that part of the map, while Liquid, you know, they've wards down bottom, but that's just an area where OG have no interest in going right now. It's kind of this dead area of the map, and OG instead, with their wards, with the control they've got, are going to walk into Roche themselves. Sunstrike has come back up, so we could see Miracle scouting this one out.
Yeah, I think at this point they're going to know. There's a Sunstrike.
Oh, no tail.
That was actually kind of close.
Yeah, he's scouted out now by the Thirst, and
are they giving up for this? They are. They're actually all rotating over. Here they come. Bloodseeker very rapidly. Oh
boy. Bit of a misplay there as Seb gonna get himself out of the Blood Rage with the help of the Force Staff. In goes the Monkey King with a Wukong command. Gets caught by the Carapace though, but GH will still die underneath the tower. The first casualty bottom lane. Miracle's gone high ground, forcing a TP from Jerax, who probably wanted to stay longer in that fight, but just couldn't afford to do so.
And there's sentries everywhere here. It's going to be really hard to gap close with a Shadow Blade. A little mistake could be everything.
Both team. Oh my gosh, Matu.
Need something to throw?
Almost dies there. He's still being life drained though. Unfortunately for Seb, he gets silenced up. Now the Sunstrike there as well. He won't die to that one. The penance comes a little bit too late to amp up the damage. Instead, it's going to be Kuro on the Chen. Brought down Seb. Still in a lot of trouble with the Blood Rage. Not going to catch him. Seb can decrypt himself, and a good fissure to block off Mind Control's chase. Instead, it's Mind Control with a BKB. He may just die here, but thankfully, Ursa shows up to save the day until Jerax pops in with an Echo Slam, blows him up, and now the buybacks can go streaming on out. Both teams want to win this fight, try and secure themselves Roche. Miracle's taking out that Shaker. Matu could be next to die. And instead, it's Monkey King going in, paying for that with his life. And Tiny gets pushed into the Sunstrike. He's still ticking away. There's the life drain to save his life. The Urn was going to finish him off, if not for that one. He wants back. He wants to get GH. Instead, he's going to find Miracle, a bigger fish to fry, as Thompson will bring him down with one last swipe.
That was so crucial by Seb to life drain there. That was a really good play. Absolutely saves the Tiny's life. And then they get all these kills in response. Just really good plays. Roche is still pretty high HP, and these are not fast Roche takers though. So are faster respawns on OG's side, but we should see Liquid cross the map again and try to slow this down.
That teamfight was a 2k gold swing, and it's an even bigger swing if OG get Roshan, but that still feels like a pretty big if right now. I think both teams realize, like, wait a second, there's some bounty runes, we gotta heal up maybe, everyone's respawning. Can we actually take this Roche right now? Might be tricky.
Well, Jerax does get Blink Dagger off of that teamfight win, or at least the kill that he got with the Echo Slam, so very good position for him. And now Mind Control's got to be careful. If he gets initiated on, it's gonna be a chain stun until he gets killed.
The nice thing for both teams, I mean, particularly right now for Liquid, is they can very easily scout Roshan with 0 risk. They just keep sending these Chen creeps in, getting this free info. If it dies, they don't really care, but it allows them to know if and when they get Roche. Matu, he's getting chain stunned here. No chance to use Enrage, and this is where the first item Basher can get punished, is if not having a defensive item can cause you to get constantly initiated on. Thompson, though, getting ruptured here underneath the shrine, though. Instead, it's going to be Anna. Oh, he pounces into the Carapace, so he doesn't immediately get the kill on GH. He will still end up finding it. Has the Jingu stacks now to get some good lifesteal off him with the Fissure stun. Anna wants to find a Boundless Strike. He won't immediately do so. Has the kill for the last hit. Gets the Boundless Strike off with the help of Seb's life drain, getting him low. And now Miracle in full retreat. Has an Acceptor here on the backlines. It was Kuro dying to No Tail. Some jungler on jungler action, and they're not done as they're going to get Invoker as well. 5 dead. Liquid are team wiped. such a crazy action-packed game here.
Yeah, I love the way they initiated there. It's something I haven't really seen. Like, he ultis on a max range ulti, drops the Boundless Strike, then they do an Avalanche, then they do a Fissure, then they do a Toss, and that's all it takes. Chain stunning is so dangerous if you're playing against it, even if you have a BKB. And picking off a hero like Ursa like that is absolutely game-changing. Just made the rest of the fight so much more straightforward.
That's one of the big strengths about some of their heroes here is not just the initiation factor, it's how far they initiate from. Heroes like Shaker and Monkey King are going to stun you from fog. So if they have vision from like Enchantress creeps or just wards, you're going to get stunned from fog by a Fissure. There's going to be a second follow-up stun from really far away. And that, you know, during that time, Tiny's Shadow Bladed in, have a toss combo, you're dead. And you just have no chance to react to it unless you get something like an Ag Scepter on Ursa, which to me may even be a necessary item as well as this BKB.
Yeah, and that's not a great place to be as an Ursa, but I mean, if he gets Enraged Duration, gets a status resistance talent, it's a really good game for it if you think about it. Just lowering decrep, lowering stun durations, it could really be the tool that he uses to weather the storm of the fights. But that's assuming he can stay caught up in net worth. He's still ahead slightly, and he should still be the biggest carry terror in the game, but never know, could turn around.
See where this game goes from here. It's dead even in terms of net worth between the two teams. But a lot of that farm is on an Ursa, who really a hero known for his great scaling. Finds a DD room, but does not want to mess around with the Tiny Thompson.
They catch a GH here. No, they don't have detection, actually. GH gonna steal that one. Thompson's aware. Looking for a Kuro kill. Kuro's has a remarkable ability not to be dead 15 times this game.
Could have gone for a dive there in the Chen, but think better of it, knowing that this is a very risky place to take a fight by a tower.
Oh, they put the high ground ward down. They see him.
Yep. Ana gets the leap away, still being chased here. Gets the Boundless Strike off. Sunstrike not going to land, and that may actually keep Ana alive, at least for now. Mind Control still chasing, has ruptured up Thompson with the Wukong's command. Ana wants to at least offer a little bit of support here. Shaker's showing up as well. He's got a Blink Dagger. Blink Echo comes into play, brings down Ursa. They did lose Thompson on the Tiny, though. As OG show they want more. Kuro will die to one more Impetus here. The Enchantress once again taking down her nemesis. Both teams losing too, as Ana did end up dying to Miracle in the back lines.
So pretty close back and forth. I guess it was 2 cores by Liquid, so I guess it was a Liquid advantage there. Yeah, just a slight, very close.
And they do that into Aegis. The Aegis is on Seb, but the fact they can trade evenly and slightly favorably when the opponents have Aegis is a great sign, but unfortunately for them, OG, they're not done. They've got this Aegis. They want to keep on fighting. Miracle, though, with a Deafening Blast, but Tornado Meteor combo comes up big. No-Tail almost walks into a Sunstrike. He keeps himself alive for a little bit longer.
No-Tail's doing a great job this game. Like, he's absolutely targeting the right people, staying alive.
He's doing damage, too. Like, you think Enchantress is support. Yeah, there's some damage output. This is a fight position. Well, doesn't really look like it when he's throwing out all these Impetuses in team fights.
They've got a Arcane Rune picked up on Pugna as well. Maybe they can grab an initiation, but this ward was actually so impactful. Yeah, maybe one of those things where Ana probably should have left a little earlier, realizing like, oh, you know what, my opponents are eventually going to know I'm up here. Maybe they'll cut down the right tree. Maybe just a bit dangerous.
He ran into D ward and he may pay for this with his life. Sunstrike won't land and No-Tail's actually healed up. Whose life is being paid for? It's Miracle, who tried to swoop on in after the D ward to make something happen. But
I mean, how do you kill this guy as an Invoker? Your attack speed is good, but not incredible. Not compared to 4 points of Untouchable. And once he turns the heal on, the only way he's dying is like Cold Snap Meteor or something like that. Here's the solo kills I was expecting to see a lot more of, but Kuro finally getting punished.
Suddenly it's 2 dead, so a couple towers, or at least the one down here, should be in some trouble. Blood Ride will get dodged, and all Liquid can really do is threaten to kind of split push elsewhere on the map.
And even that he doesn't feel comfortable doing. Like, the creeps are hitting the tower, but he doesn't want to be the one hitting it. It's definitely a weakness of Ursa here, is the tower hitting.
OG on the high ground. And that gets stunned on, but is there a follow-up? There's a Rupture now. Life Drain, though, kind of negating some of the impact of this Rupture initiation. Ana may need to be careful, gets out of the blood right here. Pugna just Dagoning people left, right, and center. Unfortunately, he's out of mana, so he's got this Aegis, but he needs to find a way to die or have the Aegis expire and heal himself up, but that's always a risky thing to do if you get jumped as that happens. That's exactly what Liquid are trying to do. They're chasing.
And they get out fully. Good escape. Chess man.
Patience from Zoe.
Comes.
There's the BKB spotted by the Russian caster Dread. He's on top of it.
Oh, nice. Great. It's finally ready. He feels like he can fight now. But will that be enough? I'm not sure. I mean, Anna's progressed so much in items since Ursa got this Basher. It's actually been an incredible time of period. Like, he's almost got his own Black King bar. He's finished a Maelstrom. The Echo Saber was, like, barely completed when Ursa had a Basher.
His score, 5-11-9, sounds pretty bad for a carry, but in context, he was like 1-9-3. So, since then, he has done incredibly well. And he's not done. Yep. Shaker will use the Echo Slam. They know it's a big kill. It's a core hero, and they'll happily use the ultimates to make sure they get it.
That was like 5 stuns in a row. How do you deal with that? Ags is like the only way, maybe. But wouldn't they just buy a little time? That, okay, well, we'll just slow you, I guess, until. And even if Ags goes off, they'll just hit you with another chain stun.
Well, the Ags allows you to use your BKB, I guess.
But he only has, but he doesn't have enough gold for both, is all.
Yeah. No, if you go Ags, and, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like some people are gonna be like, oh, you should have gone Ags instead of BKB, but yeah, that you need both in that scenario.
The fact that they did such a good job pushing towers has made a huge difference. Like, that's part of the reason that they're able to get these kills. If there's a tier 2 tower there, I think there's support TPs, and maybe they could turn this around.
Yeah.
But all these towers are dead. Like, somehow, despite playing against a Chen, they were able to always pressure towers more than their opponents. I guess that's the Pugna advantage, the Tiny advantage. All of those things are making a big difference.
OG looking really good as a team, individually, players stepping up as well. And right now this game's in a very winnable place for them. There still is that late game Miracle Invoker to worry about.
What do you think about the Chen in the first phase? I feel like I mean, OG seems to have taken it to their opponents in terms of tower pushing. So in that vein of thought, it just feels like Chen is a terrible hero now. Like, because at best he can do penitences, he can heal somebody, maybe get a send back, but it just doesn't feel that great.
Playing Chen from behind doesn't feel good. Thompson gone on with the Ursa there. They shred him apart. GH almost dies, but the Chen heals do save him, and Tiny buying back.
Seb almost surely dead now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is he out? Is he home free? You betcha. All the stuns were used on the initial kill, so there was nothing left. The Tiny's bought back. They're going to look to take this fight with the Tiny on Thompson. No! You're going to die twice! It's a dieback!
And it does pop BKB at least, so he's going to buy himself some time killing the creeps, but everybody on Liquid running free, and it looked very good for OG there.
Don't hit those nukes. He may just die as well if he's not careful. There is a Shaker nearby, but still no Echo Sign for a couple of seconds, and there's going to be a blink. Earthshock to slow him down, couple right clicks, and it's just dead as well. He should have run sooner. He turned, he got greedy looking for some creeps. The Dagon Cannon does finish off one, takes down the Bloodseeker, which is a little bit of fun and games for Seb at the end, but you need more than that. You need to be winning this game, and they just threw away a decent chunk of their lead with that fight.
It's a great way to stop a push at least, because if you kill him, if you don't kill him there, he's going to heal on the creep wave, and all of a sudden you have a full push coming.
Yeah.
GH still hanging around, trying to fish for a kill, but his mana region is so bad near the Nether Ward. There's no way he's just trying to scout for position, I guess. Never mind. Instant bash. Sometimes you just can't do anything about it.
Yep. That's why you love the bashes on Ursa. You get that insta bash, no reaction possible. Matu finds an extra kill for him and his team, putting them actually ahead now. 1,000 plus gold lead going the way of Team Liquid all of a sudden. Very, very back and forth. Both teams now with leads at different point in the game. It started out Liquid in the early game, then it swung back OG's way, and now we are back in Liquid's court as they try and secure themselves Roshan, knowing that with Pugna dead, this Rosh should be pretty secure, and even if he buys back, you can just back off knowing that you forced the Pugna buyback.
Oh, they see him. Off the bash, can they chain stun? They can't. He cancels ulti, though.
Oh, they didn't get the Blink Echo in time. He got the BKB.
Oh,
Jerex was just a split second too far away, it looked like, and now Liquid have gone charging in with Matu's BKB. They're going to lose him, though. The Dagon immediately tears him apart. Seb gets stunned by GH, but it was too late to save his life, and Roshan is incredibly, fairly low. Down to about half health there, something that OG could look to capitalize on. They haven't got the best Roshing lineup. They did it okay before with the Untouchable, but Enchantress is the one here they lost.
It was very close to being a successful Ursa combo, but...
Oh my, Thompson.
Oh no, he's going to die again.
Yeah, they're going to get vision now from the Bloodseeker. He gets brought low enough that they don't need detection.
What was the initiation there? Just like a tornado or something?
I believe it was just a tornado.
It's a huge mistake. Huge mistake by Thompson, because whereas they traded evenly now they're in the same situation. Liquid's in the Roche pit again. They got to defend. They don't have Monkey King ulti either, so...
This is the Ursa-less Roshan, though, so it's not going to drop quite as fast as it otherwise would. Dagon was used, though, so a lot of burst damage just gone missing. Jerix can't blink now thanks to the Spirit Vessel being used. Anna's trying to go in. He has forced the BKB from Mind Control, who gets brought down to the Roshan pit. There's the Cataclysm, bringing everyone on OG to kind of split apart and try and keep themselves alive. Anna holding his ground against Miracle. Going to try to go for a right-click battle here. He's going to lose it, though. Miracle with the Cold Snap wins that duel. And as a result, it will be Liquid who should secure themselves Roshan off of this. Even with the buyback from Anna, I don't know if they can get in there. Liquid have 5 alive, but Anna has Wukong's command back up, but no BKB.
They might have spotted him jumping in, though, so perhaps they know where to look.
Anna's disguised himself.
I can't even find him.
As a...
There he is. Just a sickly tree.
Sickly tree, yeah. I was like, is he the Netherwood? What's going on here?
That'd be cool. Turn yourself into Netherwood. Well, they are going to be in the Roche pit, but this is so hard to deal with. I mean, is he going to go for it? He's channeling it.
Yep. Goes in with the Wukong's command, perhaps hoping there's no BKB on Matu. He's trying to secure the Roshan. He's getting fast though. Matu getting low. He can't get Roshan. He doesn't get it low enough. Oh no, OG. They're going to secure Roche to themselves. Thompson picks up the Aegis. There's Cheese on the ground as well. And OG have bested Liquid at this Roshan fight at least.
On the bright side, it was a Roche kill on the Matoma man, but definitely catastrophic. He did get a lot of bashes last
I'm like, does Monkey King suddenly have a basher? No, it's just Roche.
I mean, sometimes karma comes back at the wrong times, you know? You're in the Roche
pit. What's Matu done? He's just a nice little finish boy, you know, trying to play some Dota.
I saw that dirty first hit bash on Pugno, okay? That's all.
Okay, all right.
It's defendable. But Monkey King has felt very strong, I must say. It's 5-13 and 14. Looks awful, but his game presence has been so big. He's like the guy that's there every time that they're setting up a crucial kill, dropping his ulti, dropping his stun, and getting follow-up with allies.
Yeah, it's not like the Monkey King carry performance you hope to see, but he's enabled like heroes like Shaker, Enchantress, Pugna to dish out damage in a fight. This Dagon for Pugna is just destroying it in terms of his damage output, and all these BKBs are getting fairly short at this point. At least on the Ursa and Bloodseeker, who got them early on.
Not Kuro's BKB.
No, not his BKB.
Don't have to worry about his. It'll be fresh.
Yep. Miracle's still seeing on 9 seconds, but
I haven't really. He's got really good KDA here, but it kind of feels like he hasn't been able to be as impactful either. But it's hard. Like his hero is very squishy. Like there's not a lot of heroes on Liquid side that want to be the ones that get initiated on him, you know.
Hit the Boundless Strike as Kuro will perhaps
use his BKB in time.
Yeah, BKB'd out. Perhaps surprising himself that, oh, wait, I'm actually not dead here. Okay. I'll just walk back to base.
Sentries everywhere, and they're ready to go high ground. Tower's very fresh. Bot tower is a lot easier for them to high ground on. A little surprised they're not going there instead, but...
Get the Sentry. Miracle just going in. Tornado AP for some harass. Wow, I say harass. No tell. 20 health. Still dies. Okay, Enchantress probably doesn't want to stand too far forward.
Yeah. Wide plus 8 wisps as well, so that's 180 HP per second if he gets his heal off.
Wow.
That is some good stuff. Maybe he should have gone the magic resistance talent. I don't know if it would have mattered in that case, but...
Oh, at the level 10, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where it feels like it would have made a difference, but hard to say.
I mean, there's some of that damage, like the Blood Ride and the Sun Strikes are pure damage, so...
That's true.
Perhaps he's just thinking, you know, there's maybe not enough magic damage.
GH fishing for a kill here. Sunstrike. Wow. That mana burn was like a Dagon 5. Yeah. It was incredible.
And that's the kind of Nyx punishing Pugna we haven't seen, that we were perhaps expecting a bit more of.
I mean, the Sunstrike makes all the difference, right? Because then he can be by himself.
Yep. And Seb, he hasn't really been caught out by himself all game long until that moment, but that's a crucial time to get caught out, because Liquid instantly going for a couple towers. Jerix in some trouble, doesn't have the blink. He's going to go for an Echo Sand, wants to bring down the Invoker, who does not BKB. And as a result, Miracle is dead, and Matu forced to try and save the day, going on Anna, who's got a cheese. And he's going to fight in the Wukong's command. He's life stealing Cataclysm from the buyback. It's going to only hit Thompson, doesn't bring down Anna. Thompson, he's got Aegis, so he doesn't care. He's willing to pay for this one with his life. He's going to come back and try and bring this fight back from the dead as they go charging forward, looking for GH, who's got a Blink Dagger and will escape out of there, but dude, Miracle's buyback.
That was like the most impactful cheese I've seen in a very, very long time. It was so huge. Like they even blood raged the Ursa because he was like, all right, you're gonna get this kill, you're gonna full heal or get a bunch of heal out of this. Monkey King kill, but the cheese comes through and just bought him so much more survivability.
Yeah, that was one of those tough moments for Miracle. I think something like players will talk about a lot is just, you know, using a preemptive BKB for a kill, even if you don't see any enemies that can stun you, because what happens there is, you know, suddenly somebody comes out from fog like a Tiny with Avatos, and you regret not using that BKB to kill the Shaker.
Yeah, I mean, he blinked into melee range on the Shaker, right? And the Shaker got a spell off, and that just started the chain stun, is I believe what happened. So maybe small mistake there by Miracle, but those are the things that lead a team fight, because that's what OG's been doing all game. Wait for one opening where you can get a stun on a guy that's got a BKB, and then you chain stun him until he dies.
They've been very good about their spell usage on the OG side, and with themselves has to be feeling the pressure here a bit. It's game one of what...
Anna could get killed here, though. See the Sunlance?
Sunstrike.
No, Sunstrike.
On cooldown.
Cooldown, yeah.
Because of the Cataclysm, I guess.
Yeah, you're probably right. We'll get healed up here, thanks to No-Tail. And a salve unnecessary.
Yeah, it's overkill. Inefficient.
Wasted gold. They deserve to lose for that one. It's still such a close game. 1k gold advantage now for OG.
Yeah.
And Liquid's doing everything they can to push out lanes, but they don't feel very safe doing so they can't do it long.
One of those graphs that's going up and down a lot, but it's not just the fact it's going up and down, it's staying in these very like narrow parameters. No team's ever had more than like a 4,000 gold lead. Neither team, it's not like one team's been like throwing away a big lead or anything, it's just no one's ever really been ahead.
Well, Miracle's leading now, at least, working towards his side of ice, about 800 gold away.
Yes.
That'll be nice, at least. Doesn't have to worry about pre-BKBing sometimes.
And that's one of those items, particularly when you have a Blink Dagger, that can just kind of break the game open, because there isn't really a counter to Hex anymore.
There is. Grow.
Okay.
Status resistance.
True. Yeah, that's... yeah. Now that you can't purge it off, you need to just reduce it with status resistance. Theoretically, there's things like Force Staff you can use to help them out, or a decrep, but the hero who is Hex themselves just has nothing. They can just wiggle around like a little piggy.
Popson's getting to that point there where he's actually so survivable. 3,000 HP, 50% status resistance. He's got a BKB.
Right into No-Tail. There is an A on this that's going to buy Mind Control some time and reduce the damage he's taking. Thompson going to try and fight into the Carapace. He goes with the BKB, though. Should be able to bring down GH. Has the damage for it. Blink Echo catches Mind Control. He gets brought down fairly low, but he's also fairly quick right now. Miracle staying invis for now, waiting for his moment, waiting for these BKBs to wear off, and Thompson's has one off. He's in trouble. He's been hexed up. Miracle knows this is his time to go in. He doesn't have buyback. He's gone all out with the hex and helped Liquid come out on top of this fight, as they also find Jerax in the trees. 4 dead now.
I think the biggest difference in that fight was that they did initiate and catch some heroes, but No-Tail died instantly, and I don't think they had Anna there ready to set up at the same time. So it's like normally they just have the Monkey King Wukong's command, and that just makes the whole fight easier, because then you have all this damage output, and the supports have somewhere they can rally around. But that game was just a chase trying to pick off heroes, and they just kept cycling their BKBs like one by one. So all this like chain AoE that they normally can combo, they just never got it effectively off.
Well, and positioning-wise, in theory, that should have been good for OG. They were on the high ground where the bounty rune is and had a hero running at him, but importantly, Mind Control had an A on this. So the way you mentioned the chain stun, that's how they keep winning fights, killing heroes. Not going to work against this A on this. A on this pops, Mind Control immediately BKBs. You're like initial, you're meant to have a 5v4 fight from the start because you have that positioning advantage, but that's not the case. Now Rax will be claimed by Liquid. This team just so good in these clutch late game scenarios, even playing from a slight deficit, if you can even call it that this game. Anna's hit level 25 now, though. He used the tome to get there, and
does go the command ring. No big surprise there. It's been having some trouble keeping people in the smaller circle, but now the larger circle means lots of damage, and with the Echo Saber, it's going to be applying slow and mobility. And once he finishes Scotty, it's even more. Like, if he can keep the enemies, even with BKB and his Wukong's command, they should win these fights for sure with Scotty slows and Echoes.
We did see the Ursa inside the ring can fight into the Monkey King, though, which is where there was this, if any game, it's like, oh, do you consider the plus 100 armor? Against an Ursa, maybe, but...
Yeah. But if you get your ultimate off, like, I just don't think you really need it in a lot of cases. That one fight with the cheese was a good example of where he definitely needed it. But I think it's just better to have the command ring when you have all this disable against all the BKBs. So many fast heroes. There's going to be so much movement in Blink Daggers. He just gets a giant command ring and they start the fight. They should be able to easily kite and kill their opponents.
It's kind of like you're always weighing up the odds. The odds of that specific scenario happening again is lower than needing a bigger command ring, which now that area of the fight that you control is suddenly that much bigger.
Really good positioning here for OG to control the high ground. Let's see if they go on top. So he's going to have BKB.
Yeah, he's baiting though. He wants them to go on him. He's got that SAS resistance, gets the BKB off Matu, forced to pop hits, but they're already losing Nick's assassin to the top side of the fight. And with Matu's BKB ending, he's going to turn and bring down Tiny. It looked bad for him, but he healed himself back up. The Blood Rage helping him out, and Matu is being sent back home. Jerex goes toteming in with the Axe Scepter, but he actually is in trouble. The Cold Snap causing him problems here. Totems away once again, has an Echo Slam, doesn't want to use it. Will do so right before he dies, but doesn't really achieve much with it. Anna hits a Boundless Strike, and that may get mind control. Impetus from No-Tail helping secure those kills.
Thompson buying back. He's on his way back to the fight, but
that Blood Rage on Ursa, saving his life, healing him back to about half health. That was...
And you got the Fury Swipes damage
so
now
good.
At 20. I must have had it earlier. Obviously, it's 24, but a lot of damage output, especially with the extra Blood Rage. 40% extra damage. And in the meantime, it doesn't even bother him that much because when his ulti's on, he's taking 80% less damage. So it's like he gets all the benefits with very few of the negatives.
I love that you can see players quick buy because you see these immediate responses. Tiny, oh, hold that thought. No-Tail, gonna find himself a bit of a standoff in the top room, but Tiny immediately after that fight changes his quick buy from AC to Halberd. He's like, yep. Ursa is destroying me. Let's get the item that directly counters him.
And if they initiate at all, then they can use the Halberd, and it's going to be it won't be dispellable by BKB.
Yeah,
could give them a good 3.5 seconds or something.
Yeah, and he's normally surviving the initial burst. It's that like second round of overpower that brought him down there. So even if he BKBs before it, chances are you're going to survive his BKB and get to use it post BKB. OG though, in the Roach Pit they go. There's still 2 dead on the Dire side, and this is a Refresher Shard, which could be very useful for Anna's Monkey King, I imagine. Double Wukong's command. Sounds pretty damn nice to me.
They'll get the Sunstrike on a chant, and they're gonna head over. GH in position here.
Has a gem though, may not want to lose this one. EMP just to delay things here. Matu goes in with a BKB. Here's the Wukong's command. Anna just trying to secure this one. Who's going to pick it up? The battle for the Aegis is on, and it's Matu snatching the Aegis. That means he's going to respawn. He's going to die at least once. He's still inside this Wukong's command. And unfortunately for him, there's a Refresher Shard. There's a second Wukong's command. Anna gets the Boundless Strike as he respawns. Matu is in all sorts of trouble. He's just trying to fight his way out, but he can't do so. And Liquid are melting one by one. Jerex finds Miracle with the Echo Slam, and buybacks will have to come out if Liquid want to keep themselves in this game.
That was such a big pickup to have a second Wukong's there. And Ursa was able to get the Aegis, but I mean, he's got to get a kill as well. And that was only snatching. They didn't get the gold. They just pick up the Aegis. They just couldn't kill any heroes. The AoE was so big, you could just see all of the Liquid heroes sitting on the outside. They couldn't even walk in without getting slowed by Scotty and Echo. So once the Nyx gets picked off at the start, it's like the fight's just over.
Yeah. And I think Liquid knew, like, this fight's not going well. Matu's just like, I'm ignoring your heroes. I'm going to try and just go all in on this Aegis. Even getting it just isn't enough for him. Yeah. Too many things on the ground. It was kind of this 2-second peace treaty between 3 heroes in the Roche who were just like, let's finish Roche, and then we fight.
It also felt like Roche stayed alive for a long time, too. So it's also possible Matoma Man burned all of his overpower and enrage maybe just to buy time and BKB. So it's like, if you spend all that just to get the Aegis, and then you can't win the fight afterwards, it's not worth it in the end. It might have been better just to, I don't know, maybe pick off supports first, let them get the Aegis. I don't know if that's the right move, but
I guess he knew there was such little time to secure Roshan or to contest it. He BKB'd before he's even in the pit, which is like, by the time Roche died, his BKB had worn off.
So getting ready to take the mid tower. Set's going to BKB for that. I think it's worth it. They're going to be able to get shrines as a result. Even out the map a little. Yeah. Kuro's just off across the map picking up bounty runes and things. Yeah,
so strategically, it's not going to matter too much for them. That, if anything, it's fine. It's good for them that they can now take these shrines, but not doing quite the damage you'd maybe expect considering how convincingly they won that Roshan fight. Just 3 heroes with like 1. Nyx, I think, was respawning fairly soon and was enough to defend with. See what Liquid now look to go and do. There's no Aegis on OG's side, so as crazy as that fight was, and OG winning it, yeah, the game is kind of still even. 5k gold lead at 47 minutes, that's nothing, and OG don't walk away with Aegis Refresher Shot. They had to use it to win that fight, so do we wait for the next Roshan is now being said. And Liquid on their side, it's like, well, we can actually go and make plays because Aegis Refresher aren't in play. I don't, what happened to the cheese? Who knows? There was all sorts of shenanigans going on.
Somebody definitely ate that too.
Yeah, somebody used it.
It's gone somewhere. Gems on both sides, so at least vision advantage is semi-even. Invis Nyx. Plus, like, Monkey King on the other side. He's queuing up a Butterfly. He's really close. This is where things are going to get really serious as well. Once you have Butterfly against a hero like Ursa, it's a bad thing as an Ursa. You need to be able to hit it every single time because the ramp up is so severe if you do.
There's just never a hero you feel good going 50, 60 minutes with, Ursa. It's going to get tougher. It's going to get harder to fight heroes because the longer it goes, the more items there are in play. And items are pretty much the best counters in the game to Ursa. Things like Force Staffs, Ghost Scepters, Hexes, Halberds, whatever it may be, make Ursa's life more difficult. Butterflies. It's a hero that often relies on heroes just being underfarmed to prey on them.
Even mind controls items the way they are. It was effective in the last couple of team fights here and there, but he's not scaling as well as a core. He's still kind of incredible how much farm he has.
He's got a Radiance. He actually had I was thinking the same thing, and then suddenly a Radiance appeared in his inventory.
Okay.
Because he also got the thirst movement speed and damage at 25. So.
Okay. So he should be really fast at this point. Harder to deal with, at least for a lot of the opponents. But
yeah. I like that Seb on the Pugna just spot an Aeon Disc. We've seen what Pugna can have happen to him if he gets caught by the Nyx plus Sunstrike. It's just insta-death, and hey, Aeon Disc will directly deal with that.
Yep, or even the Abyssal Blade has been a really good setup too. As a whole, there's not that much survivability on the OG heroes outside of like Monkey King and Tiny, so definitely Aeon Discs, Vlads, ACs, things like that would definitely be really nice for them to have.
Oh, nice Sunstrike. That's how you counter Aeon Disc. You just try and proc it. Force it out, and...
That's 110-second cooldown. That's pretty tough. 115, that is. Still
that was a
around
big nerf when it went from 90 to 115.
Wasn't it like 75 or something, or was it 90?
Even it was 90 at 7.18. It may have been shorter even before that.
Yeah. Butterfly's up for Monkey King, so that means no buyback on this guy. If he dies, he is dead. But Butterfly is huge for survivability. It's actually massive.
Do they see Miracle? They saw Anna bouncing around. Are they going to go for this kill? He's going to get Hex up immediately. He hasn't got buyback. Oh no, Anna! He's down and out. Out for 2 minutes. Jerk's been ruptured. He's done for as well. He can't bounce around with the totem when he's ruptured. He does have buyback, and he's going to have to immediately use it. I think if you're OG here, you're like, let's hope they back off because we bought back Shaker, because Liquid probably don't realize this Monkey King has no buyback. They do know he just bought this Butterfly, so they may like be considering it, but...
Yeah, instantly OG pings both of their tier 2 towers, knowing like, hey guys, you have to kill those before you can take our racks. Unless they want to go all in, but that's really dangerous. I mean, 5v4 is a huge advantage, especially with Monkey King being the guy down, but if OG just turtles for 80 massive seconds, they can definitely still hold on here, but that's a big loss.
Liquid will just fall all the way back, take some bounty runes. They're not even committing to this tier 2. They're letting the siege creeps with alacrity deal with it. They are afraid of a potential, blink Echo Slam as Monkey King buys back and just wins a fight off of that. Pushing high ground against Shaker, always one of the scariest things to do in Dota 2.
And they're trying to slow us down any way they can. Look at that. Killing catapults, stealing catapults, killing the creep wave. The tree toss that they are with the cleave is incredible. It's just like killing everything in an AoE. He just picks up and throws it.
Damage is crazy. And Liquid don't want anything to do with OG's high ground right now, despite Monkey King being dead. Whether they know or suspect the buyback status or not, doesn't seem to matter to them, because even without Monkey King, it's a scary high ground to try and breach.
Yeah. And it's kind of impressive that OG's in this position, even though they ended up losing the Monkey King there. It's like all of their discipline for making sure that their towers were never pushed throughout the entire game has paid off right here. Otherwise, like a typical team, they might have lost a tier 2 a little sloppily, and instantly Liquid would have gone high ground probably.
But we'll wait around and just use this new map vision and control they've got. This is where you win a fight, even if you don't take high ground. By having a gem, you get all these wards up and deny your opponents of any vision on the map. The only Radiant wards are way back on Liquid's side. OG are playing very blind around this area, and that forces them to smoke out. Force out the Aeon Disc. Nice bound the strike, catches out Kuro, but instantly gets bashed. And Anna, he didn't Wukong's command, he's just dying. The Rupture locking him in place as well. Jerk's on the backlines trying to take on G8, but with the Carapace there, he can't really do this. And Seb, dying to the Invoker, gets Hex up, brought down. He's going to have to buy back off of this one. OG just kind of not finding the teamfight initiation they were hoping for out of that smoke, and it's Liquid using that vision, using that high ground advantage perfectly, as buybacks will come out from Pugna and Tiny, but that puts Liquid 13k gold ahead, and in a 4v3 situation where they may just actually go for a push here.
Man, Anna kind of choked that fight from my impression.
Yeah.
Like he was on the cliff, right? He throws his stun, he jumps down, he starts hitting, he didn't BKB, there was a blood right there. Yeah, he got bashed and all, but man, I really thought he was gonna go for an ulti first. He didn't. He BKBs, he starts attacking. It was just like, at that point it was too late probably to ulti, but
and it was like a series of things where OG very much misread it. Like Seb, the second he runs into the Nyx, he just pops BKB and, well, he's kind of standing there. His BKB is down.
Maybe it was one of those things. Like, he didn't want to pop BKB because he didn't know if it was a full committal, but he saw 2 heroes. Like, those, like, they just lost a little confidence because the initiation looked a little rough at the start, and then it leads into the next mistake. But that was 2 big mistakes now. OG has lost so much ground since they had before. And
it's so tough there because you've just lost all your vision. So when you're that Pugna and the smoke pops and you see this Nyx with your gem, you're like, holy crap, I'm scared because we don't have a ward here. We don't have even an Enchantress creep to scout them out. You feel incredibly vulnerable. Whereas Liquid, they see everything. They have that ward on the cliff. They see all the heroes coming in. Much easier for them to kind of structure and position their heroes to have a good fight.
Well, Roche is up in about a minute here. Liquid's not going to know exactly when that is, but OG's still turtling here. This is usually what kind of leads to the end in a typical game, because your opponents will sit on the map and just get a lot more gold, a lot more bounty runes, and just kind of continue to cascade their advantage.
The OG try and make a move out of their base. They've got another smoke. And these much more used in these late game scenarios where, you know, you're behind, you need to move out now. But once again, Liquid, same place, same position. They're fighting around their observer ward, saying this is where we want to be.
Really smart.
OG, though, I think knowing that didn't go well for them, are going to go right down mid. Find Kuro, who 4 steps away from the avalanche, but should still be dead. Hand of God coming in from the backline, so it's Mind Control trying to find a rupture target. Who's he going to get? Jarek's going to totem himself out of there. That keeps himself alive now. Mind Control's Aeon Disc helping him out. Gets out of the ring. Thanks to that disc, and OG don't want to leave the Wukong's command.
I tell my man stuck in trees over here. He was.
Oh, that's another reason to get the hell out of there.
Oh no, those are chain creeps, I think.
Won't find him there. OG say we have to deal with this vision problem. No Tail's got 5 sentries. He finds the ward immediately. Hasn't even completed this 4-staff. Still sitting on below 4k net worth, but he knows these sentries, the vision is more important than a 4-staff at this point.
That's true. I would like him to finish it though. I don't know. It just feels like 1,200 gold for something like a force on your hero could be really nice. But
a few creeps, but there's no time to farm the game like this.
Yes.
As No Tail will find because he's dead. He can't farm.
You never know. Okay. Still got a 4-staff. Didn't save him.
Can they fight Roshan without Wukong's command?
He can buy back. It's only 400 gold. But yeah, Wukong's is...
Yeah, the cooldown is perhaps the bigger issue. Jarek's is nearby with a Blink Echo Slam. They're throwing trees at them, which do a lot of damage. If they cleave, and yeah, they will scare them off. Monkey King rotated in. Wukong's almost back up.
Their positioning on Liquid side is just so good. They're always so spread out. They had a lot of issues with that in the first couple fights, first 30 minutes, but ever since then, it's just been Liquid out-positioning their opponents. Couple illusions they have to deal with. Luckily, Seb has 2 ways to one-shot illusions.
Yeah.
No problem. I always forget about that one for the Dagon. That's can be useful. Thompson just tossing trees into Roche. GH always trying to spot out a good catch if he can find it. The Miracle sitting behind him. That should be an easy kill. And there's the enchant buyback. That one's a little interesting. Guess who wants to push out bottom?
Waited a little while to use it as well, so... Yeah,
that was a little...
Well, his hopes and dreams of 4-staff being shattered.
Might be worried about, I don't know, the creeps pushing into the base and then his opponent's taking a mid-rack or something, but...
Inco Liquid, they've got a smoke of their own. Heart of Taras completed on the Bloodseeker, making him a great front line, a very tanky, sitting on 4,000 health.
Seems like
gonna find?
This cliff is everything here. There's the Radial Blast.
Instantly blinking and getting the initiation, but there is going to be a follow-up stun after the Aeon Disc. They really want to get this Pugna, but he's just going to TP back to base. Doesn't have mana to fight. But he gets caught by the Abyssal Blade. They bring down Pugna and Shaker. They're all going down, but Anna's found Invoker in the backlines. Unfortunately for him, Invoker's got buyback. Meanwhile, his teammates do not.
They're getting out.
Tiny's dead as well. Without buyback, 2v5. Anna may have found the good initiation onto the Invoker at back, but when he has buyback, doesn't really matter at this point, and this could be the end for OG. Miracle with Balls of Steel just blinks in with the Radial Blast.
That was pretty sick. push people to the low ground. Even Earthshaker had to run to the right and get ruptured. So they just separated everybody so well.
No chance for him to get out, and this should be the GG call coming out any second now. There's no way a Monkey King can 1v5 it, and they'll GG on out. Great way to end game number 1.
Man, I really thought the Butterfly was going to do more, but you know, it came down to very similar because it happened from OG towards Liquid. It was just chain stuns. Once they got like hexes and they started smoke initiating a little bit better on Liquid's side, even like the Abyssal was really impactful a couple times. And they just couldn't save Monkey King repeatedly. I mean, he was out of position by all means, but definitely going to be a tough loss for OG in that game. They probably felt, at least at some parts, in the lead.
Yep.
Maybe if they stabilized the laning stage more, it would have been a lot better. But felt like they could have pulled out a win. But Liquid, man, they are so good at late game Dota these days.
Yeah, even
it's
with
incredible.
A lineup, you're like, oh, can this Ursa keep on doing it? You've got this Chen who, like, I don't know, did Chen really have a late game? Not really, but
his heals were actually impactable many times. But yeah,
there we go. Liquid have taken game 1 ever so barely, but it was just enough to take it. As OG, we're going to have to try and bounce back, take game number 2 as we take a quick break and be right back.